Welcome to the Deep Dive, brought to you by the DGH News and Information Network. It's good to be with you today.
Yes, and before we get into the weather, just a quick note on our regular programming here on the DGA network.
Right.
Our weather updates, you can catch those daily right at the bottom of the hour. So 30 minutes past.
30 past the hour. And then FSN News follows that up 15 minutes later.
Exactly, at the 45-minute mark.
Got it. And of course, we have news coverage throughout the entire day. For the USVI, that's comprehensive news at 6 a.m., noon, 6 p.m., and midnight.
And for our listeners over in the BVI, you can tune in an hour later for your local news, 7 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and 1 a.m.
We also cover the wider Caribbean.
We do. That's at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., 8 p.m., and 2 a.m.
And U.S. and world news.
That airs at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m., and 3 a.m. So basically news every hour, rotating through the regions.
Plus, we have our features. The historical feature stories, they're at 10 a.m., 4 p.m., 10 p.m., and 4 a.m.
And for that deeper analysis, Democracy Now! Airs at 11 a.m., 5 p.m., 11 p.m., and 5 a.m. Weekends have other insightful topics in that slot.
And all of this is woven together with great music.
Absolutely. Originally produced Caribbean cultural and Afro-influenced music, keeping things lively between the news.
Okay, so let's turn to the weather now. This is the DGH News and Information Network Daily Weather Digest for Friday, July 4th, 2025.
And we're pulling this information directly from the latest data provided by the National Weather Service.
Our goal here is to really break down what's happening right now, any hazards you need to know about, and of course, the forecast for the week ahead across the U.S. Virgin Islands.
And we'll be sure to point out those, key differences between St. Thomas and St. Croix.
Definitely important. So, let's start with the current conditions as of early this morning.
Okay.
In St. Thomas, at King Airport specifically, we're seeing, well, a few clouds. Temperature is 81 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 27 Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
Humidity is up there, 84%. Winds east at about 6 miles per hour. Barometer 30.03 inches.
And the dew point?
2.75 degrees. Visibility is good 10 miles. But that heat index, it's already 87 degrees Fahrenheit this morning.
Wow, yeah, that's that humidity really kicking in early. Now, over in St. Croix, conditions are fair. Temperature's a bit cooler, 77 Fahrenheit or 25 Celsius.
Okay.
Humidity's even higher, though, 89%. The wind is northeast, a little lighter at 5 miles per hour. Barometer 30.0 DF inches, dew point 73.
Visibility.
Also 10 miles. But the heat index in St. Croix is 78 degrees Fahrenheit.
So a noticeable difference there. St. Thomas definitely feeling, well, significantly warmer this morning with that higher heat index.
Definitely. Almost a 10-degree difference in the feels-like temperature already.
Okay, looking ahead just for tonight, July 4th, what can folks expect?
Right. So for both islands, expect clear skies later this evening. Then it transitions to partly cloudy, and there's a chance for isolated showers overnight.
And the lows?
Pretty warm. Lows around 83 degrees Fahrenheit across the board.
Now, you mentioned wind differences earlier. Does that continue tonight?
It does. St. Thomas will be breezier. East winds around 15 mile per hour, but gusts could hit 25 mile per hour.
Okay.
St. Croix will see east winds, but more like 10 to 15 mile per hour. A little less gusty.
And rain chances?
Still low for both, around a 20% chance tonight.
Okay, so we've got the immediate picture. Let's broaden out. What are the key messages, the hazardous outlooks from the National Weather Service for the region?
Well, the big one, and we're already seeing it, is this elevated heat threat.
Right.
There's an increase in moisture moving in, seems to be from a tropical wave, and it's really boosting those peak heat indices, especially near the coasts.
So even though there isn't a formal heat advisory specifically for the USVI.
Exactly. It doesn't mean the heat isn't dangerous. It really is, particularly for, older adults, say 65 plus, and for children. Staying hydrated is just, well, absolutely essential. Non-negotiable, really.
Good advice. And you mentioned breezy conditions earlier. That continues today.
Yes, breezy today. Winds generally 18 to 22 knots.
Which is about?
Roughly 21 to 25 miles per hour. So yeah, definitely strong enough. You want to make sure things aren't going to blow away, secure those loose items.
Okay. And then there's the air quality issue.
Yes, the Saharan dust. A pulse of these dust particles is moving into the area now. It's going to lead to hazy skies.
And how long will that last?
The forecast suggests it'll persist at least until Monday. So several days of haze.
And that impacts people with respiratory issues.
Absolutely. Anyone sensitive to dust or with breathing problems should probably, limit time outdoors or take precautions. The NWS says the air mass is hitting the USVI terminals this morning, moving towards Puerto Rico later today.
Okay, something to be mindful of. Any good news in the hazards department?
Yes, actually. For beachgoers today, July 4th, the rip current risk is low.
Low across all USVI beaches.
That's right. All beaches, low risk today. And that low risk should hold through Saturday and most of Sunday.
Oh, good.
But on Sunday, it's expected to become moderate, specifically for St. Croix beaches.
Okay, so a heads up for St. Croix beach plans on Sunday.
Yeah.
But today and Saturday look good.
Looks pretty good, yeah.
All right, let's drill down into today itself. Independence Day, July 4th. What's the forecast for St. Thomas and St. John?
Okay, for St. Thomas, St. John, and those nearby islands, expect a breezy day. It'll be variably cloudy. Scattered showers are likely this morning.
Scattered in the morning.
Then it becomes partly cloudy with just isolated showers in the afternoon. And remember that haze, it develops in the afternoon.
Got it. High temperature.
Highs around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds east at 15 to 20 miles per hour.
Chance of rain.
About 40%.
Okay, now for St. Croix today. Still breezy.
Still breezy, yes. Also variably cloudy. But here's a key difference. St. Croix has the potential for scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms this morning.
Thunderstorms, okay. More active weather there early on.
Potentially, yes. Then, like St. Thomas, it transitions to partly cloudy with isolated showers in the afternoon. Haze develops in the afternoon there, too.
And a high for St. Croix.
Noticeably warmer. Highs are around 93 degrees Fahrenheit today.
93, wow. Winds.
East, 15 to 20 mile per hour, same as St. Thomas. But the rain chance is a bit higher because of that morning and thunderstorm potential. About 50% for St. Croix.
Okay, so warmer and a slightly better chance of rain, especially storms, on St. Croix today.
That sums it up, yeah.
All right, let's look ahead to the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. How's it shaping up?
Okay, Saturday. For St. Thomas, expect partly cloudy skies, maybe some isolated showers very early, then scattered showers developing late morning.
And the haze.
Oh, yeah, the haze is still with us. Present early morning and through the afternoon. Highs for St. Thomas around 89 degrees. Winds east around 15, gusting up to 25 mile per hour.
Rain chance still 40%.
Still 40% for St. Thomas on Saturday.
Now, St. Croix on Saturday. Also partly cloudy and hazy?
Yes, partly cloudy, haze early and through the afternoon. Similar shower pattern, too. Isolated early, then scattered late morning. Maybe some isolated showers linger into the afternoon.
But the temperature?
Yeah, St. Croix is going to be hot on Saturday. Highs around 95 degrees Fahrenheit.
95. Okay, that's seriously warm.
It really is. Winds east around 15, gusting to 25 mile per hour, same as St. Thomas. And the rain chance is also 40%.
So the main difference Saturday is that significant heat on St. Croix.
That's the standout feature,
Let me
definitely.
talk about Saturday night.
St. Thomas stays breezy, partly cloudy, maybe isolated showers, still hazy. Lows around 83.
And St. Croix?
St. Croix looks clearer Saturday night. Forecast says clear and hazy with lows around 84, so maybe a drier night for St. Croix.
Interesting. Okay, moving to Sunday.
Sunday, both islands still breezy, still hazy. For St. Thomas, partly cloudy skies with just isolated showers possible. Highs around 91 degrees. Rain chance drops quite a bit, less than 20%.
Okay, drier for St. Thomas on Sunday and St. Croix.
St. Croix on Sunday starts mostly sunny in the morning, then becomes partly cloudy. Highs again warmer, around 94 degrees Fahrenheit.
94. Still very warm.
Very. Now, Sunday night, things change a bit. Both islands see breezy, variably cloudy conditions. Scatter showers become more likely again.
Okay, so wetter Sunday night.
Looks like it. Lows around 83 for both, and the chance of rain bumps up to 30%.
And Sunday is when that current risk increases for
Right.
St. Croix, right?
Exactly. Low risk everywhere else, but it turns moderate for St. Croix on Sunday. Definitely something to keep in mind for beach safety there.
Good reminder. Okay, let's push into next week, Monday through Thursday. What's the general pattern?
Well, the general theme is persistent. Breezy conditions continue. Scattered showers are still in the mix, and that Saharan dust is still a factor.
So more haze.
More haze, yes.
Mhm.
Monday specifically, both islands breezy. Start sunny, then becomes partly cloudy with isolated afternoon showers.
Highs.
St. Thomas around 90, St. Croix around 92. Rain chance pretty low, 20% or less.
Monday night.
Breezy, variably cloudy, scattered showers possible again for both. Lows around 83, rain chance back up to 30%. Tuesday looks a bit wetter, especially in the morning. Variably cloudy skies, scattered showers likely in the morning. Then it becomes partly cloudy with just isolated showers in the afternoon.
Temperatures for Tuesday.
St. Thomas highs around 92, but notice the forecast says temperatures falling in the afternoon. St. Croix highs around 94.
And the rain chance?
Generally 30% for both through the day, but St. Croix has a higher 50% chance specifically for those scattered showers Tuesday morning.
Okay, so Tuesday morning could be damp, especially on St. Croix. Tuesday night?
Partly cloudy, isolated showers for both, lows around 83. Pretty standard.
Now Wednesday. Still greasy, still variably cloudy.
Yes, and scattered showers remain possible. Highs St. Thomas around 90, St. Croix around 93.
And something about more dust.
Right. A new plume of Saharan dust is expected to start moving into the region on Wednesday.
So that will impact things.
Yes, it's likely to limit how much afternoon showers can develop, even if there's some moisture around. The dust tends to suppress rainfall. The overall chance of rain for Wednesday is 50%, though.
Okay. And Wednesday night?
Partly cloudy, isolated showers. Lows 83 for St. Thomas, maybe a touch warmer, 84 for St. Croix. And yeah, this dust is expected to stick around through Friday.
So more haze, potentially poorer air quality, and less rain through the end of the week.
That's the general idea, unfortunately. Hot, hazy, and relatively dry.
And Thursday, the last day in our forecast period.
Thursday, still breezy. Sunny mornings expected, then partly cloudy with isolated afternoon showers. Highs St. Thomas around 93, again with temps possibly falling in the afternoon. St. Croix, breezy and sunny, high around 94.
Rain chance Thursday.
Back down low, less than 20% for both. So finishing the forecast period on a sunnier but still very warm note.
Got it. Now, what about our marine community? How are conditions looking out on the water?
Right. Well, there's a broad area of high pressure over the central Atlantic, plus that tropical wave we mentioned. This combination will keep those easterly winds going, moderate to fresh across the region. It means choppy seas. Those winds will kick up the waves, so expect choppy conditions, especially in the offshore Atlantic waters and also the offshore Caribbean waters.
So boaters need to be aware.
Definitely exercise caution. And just like on land, that Saharan dust will be present over the marine areas too, starting today and likely lasting into Monday.
Leading to hazy skies on the water as well.
Yes. Reduced visibility due to haze, and it will also limit shower activity over the water.
Okay, good information for anyone heading out.
Mm-hmm.
So as we wrap up this DGH News and Information Network Daily Weather Digest for July 4th, 2025, it seems the main takeaways are definitely the heat, especially those high heat indices and this persistent Saharan haze.
Absolutely. Staying informed about both and taking precautions like staying hydrated and being mindful of air quality is really key for navigating the next week safely.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How these patterns, like the Saharan dust, aren't just a one-day thing, but kind of subtly shape our environment week after week.
It does. It raises interesting questions about, long-term adaptation. How do we adjust our lives, our planning, as these environmental factors become more common or pronounced? Something to consider beyond just the daily forecast.
A very thoughtful point. Well, that brings us to the end of today's deep dive into the weather. Just one final reminder of our programming schedule for you.
Right. Weather updates are daily at the bottom of the hour, 30 minutes past. FSN News follows 15 minutes after that at the 45-minute mark.
And your comprehensive news. USVI News at 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and midnight. BVI News at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., 7 p.m., and 1 a.m.
Wider Caribbean news reports at 8 a.m., 2 p.m., 8 p.m., and 2 a.m. And U.S. and world news updates come your way at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 9 p.m., and 3 a.m.
Don't forget our historical feature stories at 10 a.m., 4 p.m., 10 p.m., and 4 a.m.
And Democracy Now! Is on at 11 a.m., 5 p.m., 11 p.m., and 5 a.m., with other insightful topics taking that slot on the weekends.
And it's all mixed with fantastic, originally produced Caribbean cultural and Afro-influenced music.
That's right.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the DGH News and Information Network. Stay safe out there, stay cool, and stay informed.